right, welcome to Fuji's Farmstead. We are here in Southern California, Zone 10, and it is May 18th. And the temperature has been around 55 degrees in the evenings up to like 70, 72 during the day. So things are starting to heat up and things are starting to bloom. And I wanted to take you around the garden to show you what we've been up to and what we've been doing. Here's Mr. Fuji, what are you up to? Okay, so I'm gonna open up this kombucha because we actually made this recently from the apples that we thinned from our tree. And I had never made kombucha before, but it came out really good and it actually is quite fizzy, which is awesome. So we have something to drink. And it kind of tastes like a cider or a beer. It's actually really delicious. So if you have a hard time thinning your apples, I would recommend trying to use them for like using in infusing kombucha or something. It definitely helped me be more comfortable getting rid of those cute little baby apples on my tree. So this is our front area, and we actually built this gate ourselves, which was really fun to do. And yeah, it's kind of got like a scalloped picket look to it. And we just installed some 6x6 posts from Lowe's. We hired somebody to do that so that it was even and we had something good to work with. And then I just looked at a YouTube video on how to build a no sag gate. And then for the scallop part, we just used a little string to make the slope, and then we eyeballed it and nailed it in. So I think it looks really cute, and I love looking at it when I kind of like come up to the property. Over here, we've got some iceberg roses. They actually smell really good, and I purchased these on clearance at Lowe's a few seasons ago, and they weren't looking too hot, but they were on sale, and I thought that this area needed a little bit of curb appeal. So it's been really fun to have these, and they just keep blooming and blooming. So over here, we've got some more roses, and they're just kind of going for it. Over here, this front hill area was just kind of a bunch of weeds when we moved in. And last year I grew a pumpkin patch in this area just for fun, and it turned out really good. So this year what I'm doing is I actually put some compost up here because I want to make this my corn patch this year. And we're experimenting with some pumpkins and placing a little container on top of them to see if it'll help them germinate, kind of like a humidity dome would. And I actually just saw my first little baby sprout the other day. So far, it's so good. It's looking like it's working, and we'll see how the corn works in this area. Where did food? What?
You're doing corn?
Yeah, like, yeah. Did I not say that?
You said pumpkin patch.
Oh no, sorry. So this was,
Yeah.
so this is going to be our pumpkin patch and our corn patch this year.
All right.
And this bougainvillea tree was here when we got here, and I think it's very beautiful, but it's pretty vigorous. It grows so fast, and we've had to trim it up several times since we moved here. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with this bougainvillea. I think it's very beautiful, but as you can see, it just kind of grows and grows. Yeah. So over here, so this is what we're calling the market style garden, because I decided to make this into like market style rows so that I could plant vegetables that we're gonna turn over often in the season. So, and I'm just experimenting with the layout here, which is why they're in-ground beds. I didn't want to do anything permanent in this area. like raised beds or use stones or bricks or anything like that, because I'm still experimenting with what grows well here and how the sun works. I went back and forth between doing the rows this way because that is south, right? This is south.
Where's west?
This is south. That's north. This is east and that is west. Confused on how the direction of the sun works with the house.
Rises in the east, sets in the west.
Rises in the east.
To the east.
Oh yeah, rises in the east and it sets in the west.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. But then there's something with north and south too. I don't exactly. I can't wrap my head around it. So anyways, I have the rows going this way, and I think I want to keep it in this layout because last year everything did really good here. I believe that this gets like full sun. There's a little bit of shade here in the morning time due to the house. So what I think I'm going to do eventually is make this like a keyhole bed. So it'll be like bed and then it shoots out and then more bed, and then eventually put like stone or something like that to like define the beds. But right now we're just working with the in-ground beds until I figure out exactly how I want the layout to be. This was our onion bed, and the gophers have just, as you can see, there's a bunch of mounds here. I think we need to set another gopher trap here. But this was our onion bed and it died. So I planted some more baby onions, and I'm not sure if we're too late to do onions at this point, but I had some started. So I planted some onions here. And then I think these nasturtiums are so beautiful. I got these from Baker Creek, and I didn't know that some nasturtiums are vining and some of them are bush varieties, but I think these are so cute. Little puffs of nasturtium, and then the flowers are edible and the leaves are edible, and I just think this color is so pretty. So I will definitely be buying more of these seeds. I'm not sure, I don't remember what the variety was, but if I can find it, I'll let you know. Over here we've got poppies, which have been blooming for a while now. I think they're almost done. I think this is more of like a cool flower, but they look like a Japanese like origami, that like tissue, like I just think this is so pretty. So I love the poppies. I will grow more of these, but they look like they're on their way out. This was our celery bed over the winter, and I just had 6 celery plants, and I think that I grew a year's worth of celery here. So I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to put in this bed for the summer, but I prepped them with like a new layer of compost. And what I'm doing here is like the no dig, no till method, where you put the cardboard down and then you place compost on top of it, like 6 inches of compost, and then you plant directly into it, because this soil was just like rocks and really, really hard concrete soil. So it was really easy to do. And the only thing is you do need to top it off with a couple inches of compost each season. So that's what I've done here. And I've saved a lot of money buying my compost in bulk this season. Last season, I believe I used that like Home Depot Kellogg's organic garden soil, like not the best quality stuff, but it was really all I could afford at the time. But this new layer of compost, I spent $10 on the bulk compost, and we'll see how it does. But so this bed right here is our potato bed, and I actually had a bunch of potatoes growing here, but again, the gophers got to them. So I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna plant here. And then I also planted our Lysianthus that we started from seed right here. I know that they're really tiny, but these are like one of the hardest seeds or hardest plants, I think, to grow from seed. They take a really long time, and I'm not sure if I'm too late for them, but I went ahead and planted them, and then we'll see how they go if they end up working out this season. And then this is a nasturtium. This is like a trailing nasturtium, which I think is so fun. I think these vines are so beautiful, and this color is really pretty. Most of the time when I see nasturtiums, they're like a red or an orangey color. But I love this color. I will plant so many more. I just want these to go wild all over the property and help suppress the weeds next winter. But this is also kind of like a winter plant, so it's on its, I think, way out once it gets hot. And then this is funny. I've been trying to start seeds all this time, and this is a Merlot lettuce that's just growing in the crack. So it just wanted to live its best life, I guess, there. In this bed over here, we've got some asparagus I planted. So I planted some asparagus crowns a few years ago, and they're finally starting to pop up. So I don't think I'm going to get a harvest this year, but I don't think you're supposed to harvest them for the first 2 years. But it's exciting to see that they're popping up. And then we've got a bunch of cabbages that I planted in the fall, and they just started taking off. And I harvested one Savoy cabbage right here, which I'm going to try and use for maybe some like kimchi or something fermented. I'm really into learning about fermentation. So yeah, there's more cabbages, more gophers. And then over here, we've got a pumpkin that just volunteered itself from last season. So I think that's so funny that it wanted to live there. It came back and it's been growing in the driveway. This looks like a new gopher mound. So in this area, this is the tomato trellis that I tried to make. And all I did is I used things that I had around the house. So I had this umbrella stand and I had these posts. And then those black things are curtain rods that I had left over in the house. And then I just bought these strings and I planted the tomatoes on like this row, which is kind of weird because I've got some plumbago growing over here, but I wanted to try this out to see if it would work. But look at this tomato. So there's no like new compost or anything. This is just like the soil that was here. And look at all these little baby tomatoes. And then I'm just training them up this string. And I hope that one day it'll grow to the top and then I can come out on the deck and like harvest little tomatoes. I think that would be so fun. And if this works and it does really good here, then I'll move these plumbago next year. But right now I'm just experimenting and learning and trying different weird things. But these tomatoes look awesome. And we started these from seed. So I've got a tomato here, and let me see. So another thing is I used Sharpie, not a garden marker. Where's Fuji? Fuji! Oh, there it is. I used Sharpies. So I can't even see what this is, but I have a video where I talked about what they were. So I'll just have to reference back, which is why I'm glad I'm making these videos because it's kind of helping. So I have another tomato here, another tomato here. They're kind of all along this line. And then this is our little strawberry bed. Huh. So these were getting eaten up by slugs and snails and roly-polies, but it looks like a few of them, wow. So maybe I'll try and infuse the kombucha with the strawberry. Oh my gosh, that's actually really good.
And dirty.
I don't care. So strawberries, I don't know if I'm going to leave them here or move them somewhere else next year. And then I need to clean out this bed. And I think this is like a broccoli or a cauliflower that, yeah, I'm going to have to remove this soon. And then over here, I've got some, what happened here? These are some, they're determinate tomatoes, so they don't grow as tall as the ones along the trellis. Those ones are indeterminate tomatoes, so they'll just grow like a vine to an indeterminate size. But these ones are not going to get as big, so I put them here, and it looks like I need to stake them up somehow. And then this is our beautiful garlic bed, and I need to take these off because I think that it's going to like want to go to flower. So I need to take these off. And I have elephant garlic, which look how big these are. Look at that. Look at this thing. So I hate peeling garlic, and elephant garlic, I believe, is actually technically a leek, but they have these giant cloves. So I want to use, yeah, I want to use the elephant garlic as like garlic, and it'll just be easier to peel. And then I thought I had planted some varieties that give you the scapes, because the garlic scapes are really delicious, but I don't see any. So hopefully those will come soon. But these are almost ready to harvest. So probably I think next month or the month after. What? But yeah, these smell so good. I love the smell of garlic. And then this is our little pepper bed that we made. This is also like the no dig method, but I had this cardboard box that was like already in the shape of a bed. So I just used this so that it would hold the soil in for the time being. And then the cardboard will eventually break down, and then it'll kind of take care of the weeds and that sort of thing. So these are all the same kind of varieties as the peppers over in the front, but I don't know if the ones in the front are going to work out. So I have these just in case. And then over here, I've got this little sweet potato bed. And these are slips that we started from like a sweet potato that I bought at the grocery store. It's a Stokes Purple sweet potato that I got from Whole Foods. And once the bed kind of like settles a little bit, I'll take this frame and then I'll just move it to different places around the property that I want to start growing things. And it'll just help to keep the soil in for the time being, just, you know, for a couple months, and then I'll move it. I don't know if that makes sense. So this is kind of an experimental area. So I grew peppers on the side of our deck last year, and they did really well. I just purchased them from Lowe's or Home Depot, and they did great. And they actually were doing well most of the year, but they got way too big, and I needed that area for more like things that are going to be turning over quickly. So what I did this year is I started all of these peppers from seed. And I've got some really cool varieties. I've got the Sugar Rush Peach, the Buena Mulata, Tabasco, Chinese 5-color, Datil peppers. And I didn't do the best job at labeling them because I used Sharpie and it washed off after a few months. But that is what is kind of in this area. And I wanted to see if I can successfully grow these peppers in this kind of rocky and not so great soil. So I've got some peppers over by our deck that I just planted, and then I've got this area, and I'm hoping that these peppers will do well here and I can just leave them in the ground where, you know, they can just stay here for a long period, and we're not using this area for anything else. So I've also got some eggplants along here, which are very small. And then I did plant some lavender over along this fence last year from some clearance plants that I bought at Lowe's. And then I don't know, I have like a little olive tree over there and some grapes. Should you even go over there? Or is that too much work? Okay. Oh, and then also I've got in that corner, I've got a lemongrass plant, which I'm so excited about because one of my favorite things is lemongrass tea. And then I just want to use it for cooking. But that plant got so big. It was just a little tiny plant that I bought at Home Depot or Lowe's, and it's grown into that. And the reason why I planted that there outside of the property is because I heard that those were gopher resistant. But at this point, I don't know what is gopher resistant because it kind of seems like they like everything. So now, this way. So we've been doing our best to weed this area, and we did mulch it, which is helping, but there's still like a ton of weeds. I planted a ton of bulbs in this area, hoping that it would be kind of low maintenance and something that I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time doing. So the daffodils did really good, and those are done for the season now. These iris bulbs came up, which was really great. And then I think the gophers ate the allium bulbs that I planted and the gladiolas, which I actually thought that they didn't like gladiolas, but none of the gladiolas came up. So yeah, come on this way. So over here, I've got some little baby artichokes that I started from seed this spring, just a few months ago. And I actually started this. So this is an artichoke plant that we started from seed last fall, which I'm not even sure if you're supposed to plant these in the fall, but it worked. It's a purple artichoke, and this is the first season that I've gotten artichokes, and I actually did fry up some artichokes, and I made a little video about them, and they're very tasty. They're very beautiful. One thing about this variety of artichoke, which I'll try and see if I can find the variety, but I like the baby artichokes. Although they're very pretty with this like purple color, they're a little bit tougher, I feel like, than the normal one. So I had to take off quite a few of the outer petals, and these little baby ones are just perfect for frying. So I want to get some other varieties of artichoke in our garden. These are just the ones that I had the seeds from last year, but I definitely want to make this area like an artichoke area because I think that they're really beautiful, and then you can use them for like decorating or you can eat them. So it's kind of like a win-win plant. And then over here, this is an artichoke tree that my sister started from seed. And I have no idea if this is ever going to produce fruit or when it would produce fruit or if it's even going to be tasty. But it was kind of just like a fun, sentimental thing to have in my garden. And I think any plant is really beautiful. I think avocado trees are beautiful. And I planted it in this kind of like shadier area underneath this pepper tree and near the passion fruit. And it looks like this avocado is actually doing better than the avocados I have in full sun. Which I think that they actually want full sun, but I think maybe they can benefit from a little bit of shade. I don't know if that affects fruit production, but it's kind of a fun thing. We're just kind of learning as we go. And then this is our beautiful passion fruit, which we'll talk a little bit more about it in the back. This plant is actually, I bought this for my sister on, where's Fuji? Hi, baby. Fuji, come. Come. Yes, good boy. So for my sister's 40th birthday, we went to lunch in Encinitas, and then there was this cute little shop there that had California native plants. And I bought her a plant for her 40th birthday, and then I bought me like a matching plant for her 40th birthday. And I wanted something that was like a California native because I don't know a whole ton about California natives, but I want to learn more about them. And I always walk around the neighborhood with Fuji and I see these like really pretty, I'm pretty sure they're California natives, that you wouldn't just normally see like online. And there's this one that has these gorgeous, come here, beautiful, look at that purple, like those little buds. Aren't they pretty? And I was like, what is that? And I've never known what it is. And it's just funny. This kind of looked like sage when I first planted it, but I'm just so excited. I think that is just such a pretty plant. And yeah, I mean, if it does good in the area and it's good for like our environment, then that's just a win-win. So I want to get way more of these to put in our front hill area where it's like full sun and there's not much out there. I want to put like a lot of like drought tolerant like California plants out there. So this, maybe I'll get another one and do that. So what's funny about this area is that this fountain area didn't work at all. It was just kind of, this whole area was just like barren and dead and not very attractive when we moved in. But so what we did here, because we didn't have, this would have been very expensive to redo or what do you call it? rehabilitate. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of, but to redo this pond, it would have been very expensive. So what we did was we planted Dichondra silver falls in the fountain so that it would look kind of like water. And I got this idea from somebody who like specialized in plant design. And yeah, I think it looks really pretty. It grew really fast and it definitely helps with the weeds because this whole area was just a nightmare to kind of tackle with the weeds. So the funny thing is that this little statue, I don't want to get rid of it because it's actually kind of funny. My uncle is really, and my dad were very into fishing, and this statue kind of looks like a logo for his company that he has. Go look just like this, and we would I would bag up the baits when I was little with this little thing, and I used to always draw this little logo when I was little. I used to like practice my little artistic skills. And so you want to go over here?
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. So I planted these grasses. There's like a little bit of meaning to everything that I plant here, some kind of like memory I have from like traveling or my family. And these grasses reminded me of kind of like the seagrass that you would see in like North Carolina or South Carolina. And I've got like a cute little picture of this in my house. But I just think it looks kind of like beachy, and the theme I'm going for in the house is like a coastal dollhouse kind of look. And then out here, it's kind of like a tropical, I don't know, what is it? Like a tropical forest, tropical Mediterranean forest. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what my design is. But yeah.
All right.
Over here, I have a peony, and this we actually sprouted a few months ago from bulbs I purchased, I think at Eden Brothers. And peonies aren't supposed to be great for our area, but I want to see if I can get some peonies. So this is just kind of like a experiment. This area I'm really proud of because there was just nothing here, and I just wanted this area to be like really beautiful because it's where we walk every day when we come into our house. I planted these boxwoods around the edge of this area because it just looked really messy. And if I can find a photo of what this looked like before, there was just nothing I could do to clean this area up. So I put the boxwoods here to kind of like define the area without installing something really expensive like a retaining wall. And I really like the looks of them. And then we got, I believe this is called Homestead Verbena right here. And I planted this last year, and it's kind of created a little bit of a ground cover, which is nice, and it's suppressing the weeds. And I believe this one is a Super Bena Stormburst. I bought it last year. And then we've got a limelight hydrangea that's not blooming yet. And then I've got some hellebores right over here. And then I've got a camellia here and a camellia there. And then this is actually a hydrangea that I got at Costco. And as soon as I planted it, it just kind of died. And that was, I believe, 2 years ago. And I thought it was a goner, but it's coming back finally. So hopefully this does well in this area. And then this is a Dusty Miller that I bought in a pot that was this big, and it's just kind of taking over. I think it's really pretty, but I need to either prune this back or move it. Fuji. Over here, this was one of those areas that just had a bunch of weeds, and it was really hard to maintain. So I'm trying to cover the ground as much as I can. And if I can do that with some plants, then that's kind of a bonus. But yeah, these are mostly wildflower seeds that I sprinkled, and I think it's calendula, and it's a mix of a bunch of things. But the gophers have been crazy this spring. They've been reproducing like crazy, and they took out a bunch of these plants. But I think this one's really pretty. This one's a Mystic Spires Blue Salvia, and it was also a plant that was this big, and it's huge. So I want to plant more of these because I love the color of it. It's just like a bright blue. It grows really fast, easy to take care of. And then over here, we've got another hydrangea that we got at Costco, and another Super Venus Stormburst. And then this is my Star Jasmine Espalier. And it was beautiful in March. And now the flowers are kind of dying back. But I think once the flowers fall off, um, it'll be nice and pretty and green like it was. It's not a whole lot of work to maintain. It's been about a year since I planted. It was 3 little plants. But I planted this because I thought it would be fun if I had people over for a party and it was blooming. It would be kind of like a nice little backdrop to like take photos and that sort of thing. So, and then this wall just kind of needed something on it because it was kind of just like a big blank wall. We've got some wildflowers that are just growing wildly, and then we've got a camellia here, and this is a Nuccio's pearl camellia, and I think they're about done blooming, but well, we've got some more buds right there. But this is a really pretty shrub. And then we've got some morning glory on this fence, and it's kind of going everywhere. It's sprawling on the sidewalk. So this thing, I don't know if I'll keep it. I think it's really pretty though. But this is kind of a beast of a plant. It's a little, yeah. So right here I have a debutante camellia plant or tree, and then I planted these foxglove and delphinium that we started from seed around it. And I'm not sure if I was too late, but Fuji. I'm not sure if I planted it too late, but it was my first time. It's been my first time planting or starting delphinium and foxglove from seed. So we'll see how that turns out. So right here, this is kind of like our drought tolerant area where I'm like experimenting with these drought tolerant plants. And then these are all of our delphinia or our dill ami that we started from seed and yarrow. And I've never started these plants or had any of these plants before, so we'll see how those turn out.
I think there's a gopher there.
And I think there's a gopher right there. So these are our raised beds, and we put these in as soon as we pretty much moved in, a few months after we moved in. And I didn't know anything about gardening, and I didn't have any kind of plan. And so I've got these 3 beds here, and I don't think that they get like enough sun because this pine tree over here shades it out. But I've got some mint growing really well. I've got some garlic chives and some more nasturtiums here. And then, oh, here are some more tomatoes that I am going to train up this beautiful arch. And then we've got a pepper from last year. And I didn't know this, but peppers actually like over winter, or we don't really have a winter here in Southern California, but they'll reproduce year after year. So this pepper plant, you know, has been, I dug it out of the beds over there and then I stuck it here so that I didn't have to purchase another plant. And that was interesting, and I didn't know that. So over here, these 3 beds have been struggling. I've tried direct sowing a number of things, and I don't know if like an animal is eating it or whatnot, or if it just doesn't get enough sun. But I'm actually just gonna put plant starts that I bought at the garden center here, because the things that are really tiny are having a really hard time in these 3 beds. This is some purple basil that we started with the soil blocks, some tarragon, some chamomile, and then we've got an eggplant from last year, and I haven't decided if I'm gonna pull it or leave it for one more season. Another tomato, and then we've got some chamomile. Oh, should we talk about these roses? Ooh, and these roses are so pretty. They're like tree roses that I bought at Armstrong. And the thing about roses is I didn't know anything about how to care for them. And I thought that these all died. Was it last year? Because they were being attacked by something. I think it was spider mites and aphids, and I just took everything off of these plants, and now they're doing really good. So I've got a rose right there behind you that has like, look, it's totally come back to life. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And then this is the same rose. And then we've got, this is a banana pup from that banana over there. So that banana shot out more little baby bananas, and then it fell over. So I dug out the baby bananas and I put one here, and it's actually starting to grow. And then we've got some rosemary, and oh my goodness, my sunflowers. I just planted a bunch of sunflowers and it looks like slugs or snails ate all of them, most of them. That's sad. That's okay. Maybe one of them will survive. And then this is our bay leaf tree, which you use for cooking. And I planted this beautiful black-eyed Susan vine, and I think it's just so pretty to cover the chain link fence, and it's growing so fast. And it just feels like really like cottagey. Careful. So they're here. A few months back, we did this in, I posted a video about this. I bought taro roots from the grocery store, and then I just placed them in the ground, and look at how cute. So I want to be able to use taro for, I'm not a huge fan of poi. That's like what you typically use taro for, is for poi, like the Hawaiian food. But I like the taro for like making taro chips, and you can eat poke with them. So I want them for the roots, and then I also want the leaves to make lau lau. So I think that would be really fun. And you need banana leaves to make lau lau, and you need the taro leaves. So that's kind of why I planted these. And then this is Hawaiian ginger, which is more of like the flower, not the ginger that you eat, but the flower smells really, really good. And over here, this is our bachelor buttons that we started from seed. And I wanted to have like something on the side of the stairs. And I was kind of imagining like, you know, a little like path of flowers, but these are the only ones that survived. So, you know, it's okay. I'm happy that these grew, and I can always put something else in here too, but we're just learning how to start things from seed, and we're having a good time doing it. These are some gardenias that I got at Costco, and gardenias are hard to grow, I think, but there's like little buds on here, so I think they're doing good. And you're supposed to, I think they're finicky. You're supposed to use like an acidic mix of soil or something like that. I just put them in the ground, and then I put some drip to it. And I tried to put them in like a shady area because I think that they can burn. But they're looking good. So we'll see how that works. There was a little flower the other day on one of these. And here are our beautiful apple trees. So there are a bunch of little baby apples on here. This one is the Anna apple. This one is an Anna apple. And you're supposed to thin fruit trees so that they produce bigger apples. And especially for these little apple trees, they can't hold the weight of all of the apples. So I have such a hard time thinning them because they're so cute. So that's what I used to make this kombucha. I actually infused this kombucha with the little baby apples. And then this one is a Dorset golden apple. And I think all of these varieties do good in this like area. I know that certain apples need a certain amount of like a cold period or like chill hours. This is also a Dorset Golden, but these were all sold at a nursery around us, so I kind of just trusted that they would do good here. This one's a Fuji apple. And then this one is, what are you? Where's your little tag? Oh, here. This one is an Anna apple. I think this one's doing the best. Look at how pretty. Look at these, like, these little apples. And then this is another banana pup that we took from that other tree. And I planted it here. And I thought this would be nice to make like a little bit of a hedge because it's, you know, just for like a little bit of privacy and like a little bit of like shade in this back area. And then up there we've got a mango tree. And then this is the gopher that we're trying to catch. So we set a trap right over here 2 days ago and it was set off, but it didn't catch him. So I think he maybe smelled my scent on my hands or something like that because I had just replaced the top trap. So we're still after this guy right here. And gophers, we haven't had as big of a problem with gophers in this back area because Fuji is obsessed with catching gophers. He just wants to hunt them, and he'll just kind of go along the fence and try and catch them. But one day we came in early. It was like 7:30, and normally we stay out here until like 8:30. And the next morning, these mounds happened, and so we need to take care of those gophers. So we've got a mango tree up here. And this is our Ruby Supreme guava. It looks like this is actually the last fruit. It's, got a piece of my hair. It's the best. It's the best fruit. This is my favorite tree. And it's like got a pink flesh. It's super sweet. It just tastes so good. And they produced all winter long. And I don't know if they're gonna give me another flush of fruit this summer, but we'll see. I just planted this about a year ago. There's an ant on me. Sorry, I'm actually kind of. This is our fruit cocktail tree, and there's 4 different types of fruit on this tree. There's a peach. Here, let me actually see what it is. It's a double delight nectarine, a mid-pride peach, a Saturn peach, and a Fantasia nectarine. So we just planted this the summer that we moved here because I started watching and reading about fruit trees because we had the space for them here. And everybody said the best time to plant a fruit tree is 7 years ago. So then I just went out to the store and I bought a bunch of trees and I was like, I'm already late. I should have planted these 7 years ago. And so I purchased this tree, the apple trees, a Santa Rosa plum tree, and another Saturn peach tree. And I didn't know anything about how to care for a tree, but I was just so excited. Okay. I was just so excited to have fruit trees, and I wanted to get them in the ground, and I planted them in July, which is like the hottest time of the year. And so I don't think that was probably great. But they actually started producing like the following year. So the first year, which was last year, I got so many peaches off of this tree, and they were mostly on this side. But that was really all that we got. We didn't get any of the other fruit off of it. So I was like, where's my nectarine? Where's my plum? And so this year, I haven't sprayed any of my trees with like any fungicide or, the sprays that I've seen that you're supposed to do, because I want to avoid spraying things if I don't need to. But we've got some kind of like disease. I think this is called peach leaf curl, because look at the leaves, look all kind of crazy. So I think I do need to prune, or I do need to spray this tree. And I think I might need to prune this side of the tree a little bit more so that the tree doesn't focus its energy on this side of it, because I think that I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any fruit off this side. I don't see any fruit on here. So I think I might prune some of these branches so that the tree can focus on other areas.
Cut it?
Why? Right now?
Yeah.
No, I need I need the saw.
Oh, okay.
Look at Fuji. So if you want to come over here, the only fruit that I see here, and there is a lot of fruit, and I probably need to thin it. This is the Double Delight Nectarine. So there's a ton of fruit, and I don't know if it's just because they like to take turns, maybe one year the peach fruits, and then the next year the nectarine fruits. I'm not sure, or if it's because I didn't prune it evenly. I'm not exactly sure, but that's something that's super interesting. But it looks like the nectarine is the only thing. So maybe they just take turns each year. I don't know.
4 minutes on the peach tree.
I know, well, there's a lot. So we've got a bacon avocado that I got from Costco, and it was really small. And the thing with the gophers is that we've been just trying to catch them in here. And I put gopher baskets on all of the trees in the beginning when I planted them in July. But then I realized it's a lot of work to make those baskets, and the metal in the ground, I don't mind it, but I don't know if it's going to inhibit like the roots from getting bigger. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm kind of just certain trees I'm not putting the gopher baskets, and I'm just trying to handle the gophers by trapping them. So this one does not have a gopher basket, but it does look really good. The leaves are looking really nice. And then this is our passion fruit, which is looking really good. This is a Saturn peach, which I don't know what happened to it. It hasn't done anything for 2 years, and I'm not exactly sure why. And then this is our Hass avocado, which I need to like stake up a little bit better. And this is a tiger stripe fig, which is this beautiful fig with like yellow and green stripes, and then the inside is red like a raspberry, and it's really pretty. And then this is a fig that was here when we got here. It's just like a regular purple fig. I'm not sure what the variety is, but it's just like a regular fig. And then this is a Forte avocado, and I got this one, the bacon avocado, and the Hass, because they say that avocados need like an A and a B variety in order to pollinate. But a lot of people have told me that like there are enough people who have avocados in the area that you don't need both varieties. But I just thought, since I want more avocados, I planted more. And then this is our Santa Rosa plum that was looking really weird for the first 2 years. It was about this tall, and then it had like a few branches, but it never did anything. So we cut it back, and now it has new growth, and it actually looks good. So I think we did the right thing by doing that. And then we've got more beautiful passion fruit and star jasmine right here. Ooh. And then this is an Emily Bronte rose that I got for Valentine's Day. And I just planted it like maybe a month ago, and there's all these beautiful buds. I think roses are just so fun because they grow so fast. And now that I know you can buy them bare root, you can save a lot of money on roses, and they just grow so fast. So even though you purchase when you buy roses and they look like sticks, they grow really fast. So I wouldn't be afraid to buy like a bare root rose in the future, because they're gonna flush out really quick. And like, look at how many flowers are already on this little bush. So this is our Emily Bronte rose, and it's already got some beautiful flowers. And then right here we've got a Midnight Valencia orange tree, brand new, that I just planted. And here we've got our little seedlings that we started. So this is a China aster that we started from seed, and then they're growing up. And then over here, these are stock that we started from seed, and I did not harden them off properly, and they looked terrible when I put them in, but now they're looking great. Fuji, please don't eat them. So I think they're looking promising right here. And then these are snapdragons that we started from seed. And I tried using these peat pots, and I don't think that they work very well. I feel like the ones that were in peat pots, they just didn't. I don't know if you have the same experience with these peat pots or if I did something wrong, but these have taken a long time to get going. Oh, and this is a Meyer lemon tree that was here when we moved here, and it had so many lemons over the winter time, and I'm seeing a bunch of new fruit. So maybe we'll get a few more, but it's doing really good. And then we've got some more roses along this path. Oh, like, I don't know where to go. Okay, so I just noticed that our yuzu lemon actually has little fruits on it, which is so exciting. I've been waiting for this for so long. Look at this. That just happened like overnight. So this is yuzu lemon that I want to use for like cooking and sauces and that sort of thing. These are our beautiful teddy bear sunflowers that we started from seed. And we planted these. Look at this one over here. Look at how cute that is. Oh, look at how adorable. And then look at these. I think those are the cutest things I've ever seen. And then this is our variegated pink lemonade tree. Let's see if you have any. No fruit. No fruit yet. Maybe soon. I planted that at the same time as the yuzu. And then we've got some stock that we started from seed right here. Yeah. So this area, there was a pine tree here, and it was growing into our deck, and it was also like dropping sap all over our deck and our furniture. So I planted some of these dahlias that I started from seed. They're actually the Bee's Choice dahlias from Floret, and we'll see how they do. This isn't the greatest soil, but you know, I started them from seed, so you know, they weren't as expensive as buying like a bunch of plants. And then these are the remaining plants that we have to plant out. I've got some peppers here. I've got some dahlias that we sprouted from tubers here. I've got some snapdragons, and then this is horseradish and another taro. And then this is the Jury's yellow camellia. And I love camellias because they're evergreen. They don't lose their leaves. And then they have the pretty, the flowers. So, Fuji. Yeah, and then these are the last of our seeds that I did another round of seeds, and I use these trays because they don't take up as much room under the grow lights inside. So we've got cosmos, zinnias, hollyhocks there, and I just noticed that the germination's not as good out here, but I think it's because birds come and like pick the seeds out, When I do it inside, I have like a way better, it's not as patchy as this. And then I've got some pumpkins, melons, and cucumbers started right here just in case our pumpkins out front that we direct seeded don't work out. I've got a backup here. So yeah, should we do the inside? So I'll show you the inside as well. This is where I want to take the garden veggies that I grow outside and create beautiful dishes. So this is one of my long-term goals and dreams, was to own a property that had a little bit of land, and then be able to cook with like these things that remind me of growing up in Hawaii, like our guavas and our bananas and our passion fruit. So every window in the house, I can see around the property in my different gardens. And in the beginning, it was really hard to like get from one area of the property to the other, and it was really exhausting. But you can actually see this is kind of like our future like cottage garden area, and I can see like our beautiful roses and our gate. And then over here, same thing. I can kind of watch my plants from here. And then from this area right here, we can see our pumpkin patch and our little corn patch. So in the morning, I'll come out here and I'll see the crows eating my seedlings. And I, can kind of just take a peek at everything. I can see if like a gopher trap has gone off. And then over here, I can see our market style garden. So it's definitely a plus that I didn't even realize was here for somebody who likes to garden or wants. And this is going to like our backyard orchard area. So that's like the neat thing about this property. It was sort of, we moved here for Fuji, but the property was made for Fuji is what we found. So that's why we called this channel Fuji's Farmstead. So over here, we've got some more citrus trees, and this is a Bear's lime tree. And up there, we've got a kaffir lime tree. These are cosmos that we started from seed and planted out from those little 3/4 inch blocks. We've got an Oro Blanco grapefruit, a Moro, no, that's a Tarocco blood orange, and then a Meyer lemon. And look at how cute these cosmos are. They're so cute. I believe these are the double click cosmos. And then this is the grass we started from seed. We didn't start them from seed. We broadcasted some seed, and we had a lot of troubles with the grass. And I made a video about what I learned about grass and growing a lawn, because one of the reasons why I wanted to start this YouTube channel is because when we moved here, I didn't really know a lot about gardening or any of this stuff. And I've had to learn slowly over time. So I wanted to like share like the things that I've learned and, see if anybody else would find it helpful or useful. And then over here, I did sprinkle some wildflower seeds that I bought at that native plant shop on my sister's birthday. And these, I think, are, I don't know, there's like these little buds, and I think these might be Pride of Madeira. I'm not exactly sure, but we left these on purpose. Maybe they're weeds, but I think that they're part of the wildflower seeds that I scattered. And that's the hard thing about wildflower seeds is, when you scatter them, how do you know whether or not it's to weed it or weed whack it? So that's another reason why we've been hand pulling in this area. One, because we don't want to use poison, and then two, like I kind of want to have some wildness, like some things that just kind of grow, and then I can select what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. So Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions, let me know, and we will see you next month for the June garden tour.
Fuji, are you tired? Are you tired from doing the garden tour?